Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for joining me on tonight's episode of Campbell Talk. You know how we do. It happens every Monday night right here on Campbell Talk, either on our Facebook page, our LinkedIn page, and our YouTube page. So you can like, share, follow, invite a couple of friends to watch, do a watch party, something. If you have topics that you would like to know more about, or if you have questions that you want to ask, please feel free to ask them, and we will do our best to get them answered live on air. We really appreciate you being here and learning. And you know our topic, it's Women's History Month. It's also Women and Girls HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. And so today we'll be talking about HIV and the Black woman. We love all women. We don't discriminate, but we just are focusing our attention on the Black woman. And so tonight, one night only, we have with us Chaquita Ingram, and she's going to come on, and she's amazing, amazing, period. um, but she's going to come up next, and we're going to get into some conversation, and you'll learn more about her, what she's doing, and you will see why her voice is important in our community. So without further ado, while we get our intro going, I want you to go ahead, like, share, like, and be ready. Get your comments ready. Get your mom, your girlfriend, your sister, your cousins. Tell them to come on in here. Let's talk about HIV and the Black woman. And really, what it is HIV in the Black community, because you know who is the mother of all our community. All right. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you, Chiquita, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
We have a very important topic to talk about. Uh,
Ooh.
before we jump in, I am sure our viewers would like to know more about you. So, can you please go ahead and tell them about yourself?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chaquita Ingram. I am the CEO and founder of Aspiring Coaching and Consultant. That's just one of my many titles that I hold. I am a single mother within the Black community. I have a Black son and a Black daughter. I am passionate about HIV testing education, and it's always great for everyone to know their status. So when I got invited to be on Campbell Talk, I was like, what? Me? I have a lot to share. So with that being said, I have a background in STD testing and counseling. So I just took that and honed in on the skill that I already had and just made it blossom into something even better.
Amazing. And, I also have a background in STD. 9 years ago, was it 9, 10 probably now? Uh,
Yeah.
that's when I first met you, STD department. And yeah, that's been it, right?
Yeah, when I pronounce your name wrong.
I didn't get offended.
I
No,
know you got real sassy though, but it's okay.
somebody have to, right?
Yes, and it's okay. And I understood that.
So, all right, so we're gonna dive right in, right? So, what do you think it will take for us to really address HIV among Black women?
Education. And why I say education, the more you know, the better equipped you are in eating circumstances. And it takes being bold to ask that question and to be honest and truthful with yourself. That's first and foremost. I see a lot of times people hide behind the fact that HIV, it used to be bad, but now it's better because there's medication out there. And you don't want your name tied to the acronym HIV, especially when you don't know. But once you're educated and you educate yourself, it becomes okay. Just like being a diabetic, you tend to know more about how to treat yourself as a whole.
I love how you made that parallel between like the diabetic. It just kind of like puts you in a different frame of mind, right? Because so
Mhm.
many times when people hear HIV, they just go to like the far extreme, like, oh my God, I'm
Death.
finished good, I'm gonna die, or whatever the case is. And so, what would you say to the Black woman who gets her HIV tests and the results are reactive for HIV?
First, once she get those results, my question is, how much do you know about what you just heard?
Mm.
um, and we go from there. If they know nothing, then it goes all the way back to education. If they know a little bit, then it's expound on a little bit more. We go a little bit further. Try not to use big words and big lingo. You use the smaller words, smaller lingo, so they can then understand exactly what you're speaking of. Instances where you will have someone that is positive and you're talking to them and speaking to them and trying to get them to understand, they hear nothing. And that's where we lose them because we're giving them all this information on something they just heard, but they're not listening to what we're saying to them. So we need to take time when you're giving out that result to take time to make sure they understand the first thing that you said to them about them being positive, and then you go from there and you like gradually feeding them like a baby. You may think that they are an adult, but they are no longer an adult when you give them something so detrimental to their health that they don't quite understand. So you then have to feed them, like baby feed them, so they understand more.
And I like that. It's like you first assess people to see where they are, and then you kind of like provide them necessary information. And I'm sorry, my notifications are popping off right now. Okay, all right. So it's important for people to have that information because it helps them to really feel comfortable and to adjust to their new status, right?
Yes.
So that's essential. That's an essential part of it. And so what would you say to the Black woman who gets tested and her results are non-reactive?
So again, same thing. How much do you know? What does that mean for you? And then you go as far as educating the Black woman, saying, hey, this time you were negative. What are we going to do moving forward to keep you in a negative state, at a negative status? What are you going to do to prevent yourself from becoming positive? Just because you're negative now, don't mean you're going to be negative forever if you don't use preventative treatment. And that's with any and everything that we do in life, not just HIV, it's with our health in general across the board. So if you know that a certain thing that you're introducing into your body is going to cause you harm and you dodged the bullet the first time, what are you going to do moving forward to keep you from getting that result that you don't want in your life? So again, it's all about education. Now the education flips to preventative education. You're negative now. How do we stay negative? And then you educate them on tools and regimens and things that keep you at a negative state, at a negative status. Having protective sex, moving to prep, a pill a day, and having monogamous relationship. Always questioning your partner. Hey, when was the last time you was tested? Let's go get tested together. Don't be ashamed to open that door. Don't be ashamed to ask that question. Definitely don't be ashamed to go get tested together, because I believe in true love. If you love me enough, you'll go with me to go get tested. If you love me enough, it wouldn't be a problem for you to go get tested if I asked you. If you love me enough, it would not, I wouldn't even have to ask you. You'll come and you'll bring it to me and say, hey, this is where I'm at this month. And if you love me enough, it'll only be me that you love.
Mm. So the lesson here is for a woman to really understand the value of their health, and also using, and they can use that as part of their discussions with their partners. Because if
Yes,
you value your health and you say to your partner, hey, listen, this is, I value my health and I need you to value my health, and then they and your partner start valuing your health just as much as you do, then you can have healthier outcomes.
that's correct. Hmm.
Okay.
And having that open dialogue, giving a person an option to be with you even in your positive state or be with you in your negative state, but you have to be educated as well. You know, it's not always good to have unprotected sex just because this person is taking medication. You definitely want to protect yourself. So it's all about one, education, two, protection, three, talking about preventative and having that open dialogue.
And also, when we're talking about unprotected sex, we're talking about it right now in the context of HIV, but condoms do protect against STDs as well. And so keep that in mind. While it may not, might prevent you. Some people say, oh, but they don't have HIV. Okay, but condoms also protect against pregnancy, also protect against STDs.
Syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, herpes. It's those are just the top five, but there's more out there you definitely want to protect yourself from.
And with abortions being a challenge these days,
Yeah.
condoms is definitely a plan A.
Yes, not a plan B.
Okay. So what do you think are some barriers to women getting testing, or women knowing their status, or women even having access to testing? And then we can take a look at those separately. So first we can say, what are the challenges to people getting tested, just women getting tested?
Fear is number one challenge. The fear of the unknown.
Hmm.
Um, I was sharing with one of my coworkers, even though I know I am negative and I know I'm not having any sex, I still shake when I go get this test done. What am I shaking for? It's just the fear that is within you to know the unknown. Lack of education, um, the lack of the fear and the lack of not letting your friends in to that intimate circle because you feel like you told them you're only dating one person and you're really not. So now when you go get tested, it's almost like they snatch down the curtain and they see all your skeletons. And that's not the case. It's just that you are doing this for you and to protect you. It doesn't matter how many skeletons are behind that black curtain or the blue curtain, but it's about protecting you.
Mm.
So that's the barriers that I see in the community.
Okay. So culturally, do you think that there are differences um, with accessing these services compared to like Caribbean women versus American born women versus South Floridians versus New Yorkers? I don't know.
Well, it's a 50-50 across the board. Again, it's that it goes all the way back to education, and getting to know, and not shying away from those commercials that are posted and feeling like you're in a monogamous relationship when you're really not, because you can't trust your partner if you're not with them all day, every day. That's 24 hours a day. Y'all would have to be together to say, yes, we're in a monogamous relationship. Or if you trust them enough, and not saying that you can't, you will. What I see happening here is because when we go to the doctor, We don't ask to have that STD panel, or we don't ask to be tested for HIV. And we just automatically assume that the doctors and the providers are automatically testing us. Wherein different cultures know better because they've been taught better. They will go in and ask for that because they're with their doctor, they will ask for it. And then on the other hand, you will have your doctors or the providers, they don't ask you about it. They don't have that conversation, and they just automatically assume you're getting it done somewhere else. So everybody is assuming. So there's assumption around the world that you're assuming that you're out getting tested and you're actually not. So there's a lack of communication there between the providers and the patients, or the patients and the clients. However, so with that, I find that um, brown and black women don't do it as often. We don't walk on a mobile and say, "Hey, I want to get tested." Where a Spanish or Latino will walk on and say, "I want to get tested." And to flip it even more, if they're giving away something free, then we'll see black and brown saying, "Okay, what you giving me for free?" Then I'll come on there. Not saying it's about my health. Let me get checked. Because the last time I got checked was 3, 6 months ago. I want to get checked now. So it's a difference when you're in different areas and what you know and how you get me on there to get tested.
And also kind of like really recognizing that your health should be prioritized.
Yes.
And that's not just for black women only. Everyone should prioritize their health,
Mm-hmm.
because when you prioritize your health, then we have a healthier community, healthier environment, healthier dating scenes, like whatever it is. And I
Everything becomes healthy.
think is a very cute first date, which we can do right here at Campbell Health Solutions. Just saying. Um, so what do you think are some of the stigma around why women are less likely to get tested, particularly black and brown women?
They don't want to know. That's it. They don't want to know. They don't
And
want to know if they're positive. They're scared. They just don't want to know. They just know that the last time they slept with John, and they know the girl that John was sleeping with, and she don't have anything. At least I ain't heard nothing on the street. Then I'm okay, you know. Or they've never heard anything on the street about him being, positive. So I'm okay. But the mere fact that you walking in there, like I said from the very beginning, even I shake when I go and get tested, and I know for certain that I'm not sleeping around and not having sex, not having unprotected sex, don't have nobody to have sex with, and I still shake like a leaf on a tree, knowing that I know the outcome is going to be negative. But in my head, I don't want to know. I leave the room, like, but it's just that fear of the unknown. But to get that response, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. And that's just the stigma behind it. And God only knows if it is positive, what's next. You still don't know what's next. Like, you don't know, who am I supposed to go see? What is supposed to happen at this point? Who is going to find out? And who do I have to tell? So it gets evolved all of a sudden.
the beauty about that is that people don't have to feel alone, right? They don't have to
Right.
feel alone, or that they don't have or they don't have to feel like they need like this whole information in one setting.
Hmm.
Like, it's there are, depending on where you get tested, there are people who are designated to help you to figure that out.
Hmm.
Provide education, like Chiquita was saying earlier, starting with education and then kind of like working your way forward, right? Saying,
Right.
uh, this now we might have to do some labs, and here's why the labs are for, and here's what we're looking for, and here's what we're trying to assess. And this is going to let us know your viral loads, and if what medication you can take. And that, here's our medication chart, and we have these medication that are available, and these are the ones that you're welcome to take, and the list goes on. So there are designated people within organizations whose roles and responsibility it is to help you to navigate that. And if you get tested someplace and they're not navigating you or walking you through that process, then I would recommend that you call somebody else.
Yes.
All right, so we are going to pause right here because now we're approaching our education session or our education moment. And so, Chiquita, since
Yes.
you know this, I'll just ask you the questions and you just tell the people what I mean.
Okay.
So, we've been talking about HIV throughout the from the well, throughout all our shows we talk about HIV. So, can you tell them what HIV is?
HIV is a human immunodeficiency virus. That's number one.
And
It is a virus first.
right.
It's never a disease, it's always a virus first. And with that virus, if you're not taking the medication, you're not seeing a doctor, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do health wise, you're not taking care of yourself, it can then progress to AIDS. There is no turning back once it gets to AIDS. And AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency, and now it turns into your disease state. So those are the two differences. One is HIV, it starts first, and the other one is a progression of non-compliant, which means you're not doing your medication, you're not taking your pills, you're not seeing your doctor. You just said, I'm good, I don't have to do this. And then it can progress into the AIDS status. Um, and it's an autoimmune deficiency disease, which means it attacks your immune system. So anything such as a cold, cancer, all those bad things that's out there that you can acquire those if your immune system is not producing like it should be. And how does that help? You have to take your medication.
See how she stacked all of those together? You have to take care of your health. You got to take your medication. You got to stay healthy. You got to do what you need to do. So this way you can kind of like stay healthy and longer. How long can someone live with HIV without knowing that they have HIV?
Ooh, well, that's kind of touching. Um, I've seen quite a few people live quite a long time before they actually start medication, and that's only because they was doing the healthy route. Like they were exercising, they was working out, and they were doing what they thought was best. This is before they found out. And once they found out, it was like it went downhill because you have that moment of depression where you go downhill, and that's okay, but you bounce back because you took care of yourself in the beginning. Then you have those ones that don't do anything. They don't know. They don't go get tested, and they start going downhill. They decline very fast. And a lot of times, well, I'm not going to say a lot of times. Sometimes they get like cancer and other auto deficiency things happen to them, and they just don't start going downhill. And it's mainly because, once again, it is an autoimmune deficiency virus that messes with your immune system. So if you're not taking the medication and you're not treating yourself healthy, then your body starts to deteriorate and you can live very little time after being diagnosed. And some bounce back after being diagnosed, so they get to the what we call the far gone state. Some live 10 years, some live 5, some live a little after that because they have other ailments within their bodies that they cannot fight back because their immune system has been down so long.
And that's why, guys, it's important for you to get tested and know your status. Also, two new terms that you probably hear me mention, well, now I probably mentioned them before, is when I say non reactive and reactive. And so that's how we say kind of like a person is reactive, means that the test comes back positive. Um, and then if they're non-reactive, means that the test comes back negative. So those sometimes those words are used interchangeably. So make sure that you understand those. And also, we have preventative methods, which you heard Chiquita mention earlier, which is PrEP. And so, PrEP is pre exposure prophylaxis. Pre exposure prophylaxis. It's kind of like the birth control for HIV, right? You take it every day, one pill every day to prevent HIV. So, you still need to use condoms. You still need to get tested. You still need to see a provider on a regular basis. And what happens is that if you're having uh, um, protected sex and the condom breaks, or maybe you're having sex and you can't remember if you did use a condom or not, the fact that you're taking PrEP will help to prevent you from getting from acquiring HIV. And also, PrEP is approved for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
We have Truvada and Descovy. Those are the pill formats, and it's one pill a day. And then we also have Aptitude. And Aptitude is, am I saying it right? Aptitude?
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute. I sound like something else. Wait. All right. So we have Aptitude, and Aptitude is a shot, medication injection you take. So if you don't want to take pills every day, you can actually take a shot, and you take it. It basically it's every month. Now the startup component of that might mean that you need to get a shot like for 2 consecutive months, and then you go into every other month. So that's something that you would have to talk specifically with a provider. But the basis of that drug is that you get a shot every other month. So this way, it will build up enough protection in your body. And no, you can't just take PrEP today and just start having sex with everybody and not using a condom. Um, it takes about 21 days for you to have full protection of HIV all over your body. So you want to make sure that you not only just get the facts about PrEP, but you also get ask the questions that are important to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have people, and this is why I say 21 days, right? Because we have people who are, they don't like using condoms, and they like it raw, and it's fine, and they want to have, and they have lots of sex, and they're like, look, I can take PrEP and I'll be protected. But they'll take PrEP for like 2 days, and then they're like, okay, I'm good. No, you need to ask those questions. You can with your providers, you should be able to ask your provider those questions and say, how long will it take me to have protection build up in my body to prevent me from HIV, whether it's anal sex, vaginal sex, oral sex, or even from a needle stick. And so those are questions that are important to you based on what activities you're having. So you should definitely be able to ask those questions. Um, and then there's also something called PEP, which is post exposure prophylaxis, which means that if you went on a wild date over the weekend or this weekend coming up or something,
Spring break.
right? Or let's say you went out tonight and you were, at some exclusive private party that, I wasn't invited to. Um, and, you met someone and it was a good night. And then next thing you know, you're like, yeah, I think I know for sure that we had sex, but I'm not sure. I can't remember if we used a condom or did he take the condom off and halfway through. I can't, you can't, the details are fuzzy, and then maybe the person says, you know what, we didn't use a condom because it was just that everything was just so hot and heavy. And then you say, what's your HIV status? And he's like, well, I don't know. I haven't been tested in a while. You can go into a program and ask them if you can have access to PEP, post exposure prophylaxis. And basically, what it is, it's medication that you'll have to start within 72 hours of exposure or potential exposure to HIV. And you take the pills for 28 days. And the whole idea is that it builds up enough in your body so this way it can kick HIV out. And then you get tested regularly after that. And if that's happening more than usual, you probably should get on PrEP.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it. We talk about it real here, and we don't beat around the corner. We're not going to pretend like it's not happening.
It's happening.
If you love what you do, you just love what you do. So if you are having sex with someone or someone is having sex with you and you need to get an HIV test, please give us a call at 561-208-6595. Or you can visit our website at www.campbellhealth.org. We would really love to hear from you if you need HIV testing, condoms by mail, if you need PrEP, HIV care, hepatitis care treatment. Definitely reach out to us. We'll be happy to navigate you and get you connected.
I have a question. What about STD? If I come in and I think I got gonorrhea, chlamydia, can you help me out? Syphilis?
Sure, we can. We can provide you with STD screening as well. And soon, probably in like a week or so, pregnancy testing.
Oh, all
So,
right.
and our services are really accessible. So you can call in and come do some stuff virtually. And when you come in, your visit will be much shorter. Um, and it's all about that, but we're all about being open and honest and transparent with you. We will give you answers. So when you come in, we don't want you to pretend like you don't have questions or answers. We want you to ask the question and answers that are real to you, that are important to you, so we can give you the right information to protect you. So if you like having sex swinging from the chandeliers in your living room, but your condoms are in your bedroom and you keep forgetting, then we're just going to suggest, hey, why don't you put a bowl of condoms in your living room and like a nice little jar thing with a cover on it, so the
Mhm.
kids know what's happening. But, you
I'm
know,
just saying.
it's all about figuring out the plan. If it means that you don't get HIV, STDs, and you get to be safe, uh, hello.
It's
So,
about being safe.
absolutely. All right. So, clearly there are a lot of resources available for folks in the community, from HIV testing resources and screening and care and treatment. So why is it so hard for people to, and I know life gets in the way and people transportation and all this other stuff, but why do you think it's so hard for Black women to kind of like prioritize themselves a little bit more?
Those are just excuses because we can prioritize for our hair, our nails, our feet, going to the next party, hanging out with our friends. We just have to incorporate those things into our daily routine or our weekly routine. Just walk into the facility at any time. Most of them are open from 9 to 5. If you take a lunch break and you can just Google where you're taking lunch at, it's only going to take you 15 minutes. So while you're ordering your food, you can go ahead and get your test done and you walk in and you let them know, hey, I'm on my lunch break. Can we speed this up? And you can get it done right then. If it's on a Saturday or Sunday, there's events happening. If I'm wrong, Richardo, please, help me out. Again, it's about I want to get my nails done and I want to go eat at Red Lobster, but I think I need to go get this test done too. So it's about incorporating that within your routine. And it is okay. You have a teenage son, that might be the time that you take that teenage son with you and introduce him to getting tested. Mama son date, mama daughter date. Introduce our kids into getting tested, the importance of getting tested, the importance of knowing what your status is before things happen. Because we were all kids once in our life, so we did things that our parents don't know that we did.
Who did that?
So, mm. But still, I mean, I was 16. I went and got my test results done. But again, it's prioritizing and putting that, incorporating it into your routine. I'm going to get
Yeah,
my hair done. After that, I'm gonna swing over here and get this 15-minute test done. It's only 15 minutes, and some of them are what instances is what 1 minute,
60 seconds.
60 seconds. That's it. You go in, you get your test done. 60 seconds. That's the time you sit at a red light. I'm just saying.
And if you stop at 20 red lights before you get to work or get to school, that's enough time to
Just
do
swing in there, get it
a
done.
HIV test.
Yeah, I'm just, it's all honesty, ladies. We have time. If we can fit that time in to go get our nails done, no pun intended, because I don't get mine done. I probably need to. We get our feet done, we get our hair done. I do my own hair. So I'm just saying, please, I'm begging us to make time to go get this test done.
And
There are
if you
too many places that we can go into and get it done quickly.
and if you run a beauty shop or a barber shop and you would
All
like
for testing in the back.
and you have a space that we can do this testing, reach out to us. The number is right there on the screen. We will come out to you, do the HIV, offer the HIV testing right on site to your customers.
And you can give them like a 10% off. Remember, I said they like free stuff. So if you get them 10% off, you know, they can get their, get their things done. But again, this is something that needs to be done on a regular basis. I am petitioning all women of all colors, at least for 2023, say that you got your test results, say that you know your status, and put it somewhere. Hashtag I know my status. What about you? Sister, can we get our status done together? Hashtag sisters, let's get tested. Do something. If you don't do nothing but promote it in your neighborhood or on your social media page, promote, promote, promote. Let's help a sister out. Let's help our sisters out. Let's hold each other hand while we fixing each other's crown. We definitely want to make sure all of our sisters are staying negative and we're getting tested on a regular basis.
Now, you mentioned social media. So, how is social media, or what do you think? What are your views on social media in the prevention space in terms of like HIV education and STD education? Do you feel like it's effective? Do you think it's reaching more Black and Brown women?
Well, it's only reaching who you have on your page. And if your friends are not into getting tested, that's as far as it's gonna go. Um, so being on social media, I don't see it as much. I mean, I'm not a social media person at all, but the only one I ever see is Campbell Solution. Go figure. You're on my page. So, and my page is only exclusive to people that I want on there. So it's only going to be the people that I want. And that's what I mean about it's only going to be to the group that you have. It's never going to be an open forum if we don't share as people and as friends, as has nothing to do with healthcare. It's about I care for you and I'm gonna make sure that you get this. It is out there for you to get tested. Let's not wait till we go do our annual. Let's not wait till we go to the hospital and something happened. We should know our status beforehand.
Always. And if you have never been tested, you should go and get tested. I think 2023 should not pass without you knowing your status.
Yeah.
Call a girlfriend up, call a couple of friends and say, "Hey, let's just go know our status. Let's go get tested. Or I need you to come with me so I can go get my HIV test done. I need
And
support."
I challenge you women to go to Campbell Solution and go get tested. You don't have to go to Campbell Solution. You can go to any other place that is offering HIV testing and get tested.
Invite me to your party. Invite me to your party.
You will pull up and start testing.
You're right.
Hey, that's
Right.
all it takes. It takes just one. Let's, as women, as sisters, let's just share in this together. We really need to go ahead and push it and promote it. I mean, don't interdate one that is telling you, I'm not ready. I don't want to. Don't beat that horse, but just come back around. Don't let our sister go. Come back around and say, hey, are you ready? And if they say no, just say, hey, girl, I'll go with you. I'll get tested with you. And you can do it that way.
And that is so empowering. That is so empowering to be able to say, even just offering to go with someone to know their status. Say, look, I'll go with you. I'll hold your hand. I'll be there with you, whatever you need. And I think that's just empowering. The greatest thing that we have is our time, right? And
Hmm.
there's nothing else. And so and for me, when I send emails, I'm always thanking people for their time. I say, thank you for your time, because you have all this time in the day. You didn't have to share that with me. And so I'm super, super grateful and appreciative of people's time, and also that you took your time to be here. So I just want to tell you that I appreciate your time. Um,
Thanks for you.
I love that you said, kind of like being supportive of each other and all of that. So, how do we keep the prevention and the education about HIV a priority?
Continue to share. Continue to talk to your friends. Continue to you educate self, ask questions. If you see a mobile or testing unit somewhere, Go in and find out if there's any updates, anything I need to know. Has anything changed? You have to want it. It's there, it's posted everywhere, but you have to want to get it more than anything else. And if you are a person that love to share, like myself, I talk to my parents about it. I talk to my nieces and nephews about it. You got to stay up on education of what's new in the world, what's happening in the world, the two different tests, the type of test, the home test, what test is good. And you want to make sure you're sharing this information. And this, again, it's all about education. Don't be afraid to walk into a place and say, hey, what's new? How
And
can I get this information out? I don't see you guys on social media. Do you have a social media page? Do you have a social media page just for this or that? And you go out and ask, and sometimes they don't. But if you come in and ask, they'll open up and start creating one.
facts. And it's important for you to continue to engage your partners, that your sexual partners, and also your non-sexual partners, around HIV and STD, and having those conversations, and being able to, before you share yourself with someone, just being able for them to share, for you to share your HIV status, or share about your HIV status, and having like conversations. And it's not just about like, you know, what style do you like? It's also about like, getting to know each other, getting to know more about each other, and understanding your likes and dislikes and everything like that. So if you start out good, you will kind of maintain and continue strong. um so there are just different things that continues to build and support healthy relationships. And getting tested, knowing your HIV status, discussing it with your partner, sharing your status with your partners, is the beginning of a healthy relationship.
That's for sure. You know, and it's all about maintaining that healthy relationship with your friends, with your girlfriends, your close friends, your coworkers, even the people that you kind of like don't like, and you feel a little salty toward them. Still, drop that nugget for them to get it. Hey, this is what's happening on this day. There are certain days that's designated to HIV testing. We had it just last in February for Black History Month. So, we had it. They have it again in June and July, and they have it in December. So it's always readily available. It's being promoted. So you just have to take time to get out there and get involved.
And there are events all over the place. And we're very accommodating here at Campbell Health Solutions. So if you need testing on a Saturday or a Sunday, and you call us, and we'll talk about what works for you and all of that, and we'll be more than accommodating to help you do that and to achieve that. So Chiquita, we're running low. We're running out of time soon. So tell us a little bit more about your business.
So, aspiring coaching and consultant, it is what it is, coaching and consulting. I am a life coach, spiritual coach, um, and I also do consulting for STDs. I also do family counseling, teen counseling. Um, there's so much I do. I am just a ball of help. What I like is to educate, and I said that from the very beginning. So education is so important. With my coaching and consulting, I take time and I sit with each individual, whether it be husband and wife, whether it be just a wife, just a husband, whether it be with the kids or just the kids and the mom. However, you have a safe place where you can come and you can have this discussion. If you have a teen that wants to talk about their sexual history, and they want to get more education about STDs, I'm more than welcome to sit and speak with them in regards to that. Before they even start having sex, they have questions, but because parents are not educating themselves on the STDs, they don't have anywhere to turn but their friends or Google, which is not always healthy because someone is lacking the education on these STDs. So, with that being said, I can also be reached as well to get the open dialogue. I come to your home, I meet you in the park, I meet you at Dunkin' Donuts, I meet you wherever, you know.
And I
Um,
was getting ready to like put that information in the chat. So as soon as you tell me, I'll drop it in the chat and then it will be out there for folks to be able to access. So I was
so
waiting.
I can be reached at 954-391-2915, and that's aspiring coaching and consultant for any of your coaching and consulting needs.
So the
You just let me know
number
where you would like to meet. 954-391-2915. I am located in Broward, but if you need my services, I will come to Palm Beach and I will come to Dade. It's only in the Florida that I will come as of right now because it is just me, and I do take everything very personal. A little known topic that no one knows. I am a pastor chaplain, so I could do weddings. I can also do premarital counseling as well. So if you're thinking about getting married and you want to talk to somebody first, it's going to be that question is, do you know your status? Do you know your personal status? Do you know your partner status? So that's all a part of getting that education piece out there.
absolutely. Do you have a website?
No, I don't have a website. Working
Yeah.
on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be working with my coach. His name is Richardo Jackson. So that'll soon be coming. Sorry, folks.
That
I'm
threw me
serious.
for a loop, guys. It just threw me for a loop. That was so funny. Chiquita, you are a riot.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on another episode of Campbell Talk. And we just finished our conversation on HIV and the Black woman. And we have one more episode coming up. Next week, we'll have Rosie Hayes, and she'll be joining us next week to close out March, our Women's History Month, and Women and Girls HIV/AIDS Awareness Day, which happened this month on the 10th of March. And next month, we're going to be talking about youth and HIV. So please stay tuned and, keep like and follow so this way you can get the alerts because we want to bring you folks who are from our community, who have this facts, who have this knowledge, who knows what they're talking about, and so you can hear the different voices that are out there advocating and working to ensure that our people have the resources that they need. So thank you again, Chiquita. Really,
Thank
really.
you for having me. Honor.
And if you need any of the services that Chiquita mentioned, please, the phone number is listed in the comment section. Or if you can't remember it, just reach out to us at Campbell Health Solutions, and we will do our best to connect you with Chiquita. Um, we have a Chiquita, thank you. Great information. Thumbs up. Thank you, Denise. Um, really appreciate you. We really appreciate all of you for watching. Please continue to like and share. Please continue to comment. If questions pop up, we will do our best to answer them either on the next show or during the chat. So this way you have that information. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And good night.